All right, Nick, let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals uh, team. They were in the Super Bowl last year. Started off the season a little bit rough, but I think they're starting to gain some momentum after two big-time wins over the Saints and the Falcons, coming into a divisional game against the Cleveland Browns, who are struggling a little bit this season. Opportunity to roll off 3 wins in a row, Nick. And this offense really seems to be rolling, and I think you have the key, the secret sauce, so to speak, as to why this offense has started to roll a little bit later on into the season. But Nick, before we get into this, Bengals fans, we got to know, why do you think this offense has been rolling early? Who has been your most surprising player on the offense side of the ball so far this season? Let us know in the comments below what offensive player is really standing out. Maybe it's somebody that's not so obvious, a guy that's really kind of fallen under the radar. Let us know in the comments below. But Nick, what do you got on the Bengals?
Yeah, so the Bengals obviously star power led by Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. So we have a little bit more news coming up about that. They got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst has been nice. Joe Mixon. The list goes on and on and on. The players on the field are spectacular, but it's a move that Zach Taylor made in the scheme department that has completely flipped this offense around after the slower start. And this is according to Warren Sharp, who does some great analytical work, by the way. I highly recommend Warren Sharp. He's running this for Fox Sports here. He said this is talking about the Bengals' offensive efficiency. During weeks 1 through 4, the Bengals ranked 32nd, dead last in efficiency yards per play on early downs, like before third down. The past 3 weeks, they're number 1, right? And of course, and he goes into some of the efficiency statistics, why they went from a negative efficiency rating on early downs to a positive efficiency rating on early downs, just that transition from weeks 4 to 5. The rate of converting first downs on early downs went from 20%, which was third worst, to 32%, which has been best. So again, generally they've just been a whole lot better, completely ground shifting. They have done a massive shift. They use more 11 personnel, right? Which is 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, and they go to the shotgun a lot more, getting Burrow in the gun. Now, why is that important, Miles? Coming into the season, right, the Bengals made all kind of moves. They brought in all kinds of veteran offensive linemen. Lyle Collins was a big one. They got the young, exciting rookie, Golson, the guard, Karras, I believe, Kappas, I think is his name.
Kappa.
Kappa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. Kappa. Yeah. There. I knew it was one or the other. I know there's a guy named Karras. Anyway, Kappa, whatever.
Well, they brought in a lot. There's a Karras and a Kappa.
The Kappa. Yeah.
So there's both. You're right.
Yeah. They completed one super lineman. But anyway, they bring in all these veteran guys. So the temptation is, okay, we're now good up front. We can bully people up front and be physically dominating up front. But the fact of the matter was, the first 2 weeks after that loss to Pittsburgh and the loss to Dallas, it showed that they weren't where they needed to be as an offensive line, and frankly still aren't. So what does that mean? To protect Burrow, get him out of the under center stuff, right? Taylor comes from that, Sean McVay offense, that Kyle Shanahan offense, under center, play action, bootlegs. That's what they want to do. Instead, they go to the gun. They get more receivers on the field. They spread it out and give Joe Burrow everything he needs to be successful. Let Joe Burrow not have to worry about pass rush or bootlegs or anything like that. Give him the gun. Give him always a running back with him at all times for protection, right? That's the 1 running back, 1 tight end personnel, that 11 personnel. But get him 4 weapons on the field, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and let him go to work and pick defenses apart. And sometimes it's that simple, Miles, because with that change, the Bengals went from extremely inefficient in early downs to extremely efficient on early downs, and we're starting to see the results with a high volume of points.
Yeah, Nick, and I think it's no surprise, as you said, they switched this after week 4, and now the Bengals have won 3 of their last 4 games. In the last 2 games, when this offense has probably really started rolling, they've scored 30 points and 35 points respectively. So, obviously something's working. I know this running attack by the Bengals has been bolstered going out of the gun. It's gotten Mixon a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more doing things that he is known to do. So I like that has developed as well. Joe Burrow has been playing a little bit sharper football in that aspect. I just think overall it was a very smart move, and it's already showing dividends. I think that's how you know something is a smart move, is when you make the change and then you see constant growth. So I think the Bengals are primed to go into this game versus the Browns and really turn this offense up a notch, Nick. And I think there's some other news that we have as well, a key thing for the Bengals that, we think they can overcome this news, Nick.
Yeah, so according to Mike Groff over at NFL Network, Jamar Chase with that hip injury that he aggravated against the New Orleans Saints, he is likely headed to injured reserve, which means he's going to be out at least 4 games. Adam Schefter reported he could miss as much as 6 weeks, which is obviously a big blow. Chase is a game changer. He's an all-pro. He's a superstar. There's no doubt about it. But the fact that Taylor has changed the offense and gone to that 11 personnel, get Burrow in the gun, give him the ability to get rid of the ball quickly, let him read the defense, hit his receivers, I think they'll be able to weather this storm. Because sometimes when kind of stubborn offensive coordinators and head coaches, even if they lose a key player, they say, no, I'm still going to run my system. I'm still going to do what I want to do no matter what. And they're not willing to change. You see offenses that have talent, that have good quarterbacks struggle. The fact that earlier in the year, Zach Taylor making that massive pivot, realizing, hey, my system isn't working, I'm going to go do what Joe Burrow does best. We saw the results. Now that even Jamar Chase is out, I think they'll still have the flexibility to make minor tweaks to what they've been running, and I think they'll be fine. And I think they'll weather the storm. I look at Higgins, I look at Boyd, I look at Hurst, obviously Burrow running the show. I think this is still going to be a very dynamic offense. They're going to be very efficient on early down still, and I think they're going to put up a lot of points.